Jihad is not to kill a non-Muslim by a Muslim. Jihad means to strive. And in whatever you do in life, you strive to be the best you can be. You strive to be a good Muslim. You strive to be a good Christian. You strive to be a good farmer or a good engineer. So jihad is not to kill a non-Muslim. That's a wrong notion people have been airing out for decades. One of the most fearsome word a non-Muslim would hear is the word jihad. And it's true because people have already given it a very negative connotation, but it is not. And so let's live here with that notion that, look, jihad is to strive, it's not to kill a non-Muslim. Because as we know as Muslims, it's in the Holy Quran, you cannot take somebody's life without due process. You cannot kill somebody. Because they said to kill a life, take a life or kill somebody, it's like taking the whole of humanity. That's without being following due process. But what President Jonathan said, I was expecting him to make a very strong comment about how he really dealt with the issue of Boko Haram, which he used both the military and myself and other stakeholders. But maybe he decided not to, because a book is coming after that from him on how I dealt with Boko Haram issue. And let me also correct you, like I'm happy to hear that the Boko Haram is not really Boko Haram, that's not their name. I'm glad to hear that from somebody who is not me. If I were the one who is saying that, somebody would say yes, because I know them. And that's not their name, because I know that they never claimed Boko is haram. If you have listened to some of their audio, which I had privilege of listening to, they said they didn't say Boko is haram, because so many of them have also gone to school. And they said you cannot open somebody's brain and remove the education in his head. So he had already acquired that knowledge, that education. He's an engineer, he's a doctor, he's whatever it is. What they are saying is that those who have gone to school and are educated are leading bad governments. What they're after is the issue of bad governance, because they want to be free, they want to do whatever they feel they should do. And I want to correct, and I'm glad this is carried on TV, live. I want to correct this wrong notion that people, non-Muslims, hold about jihad. Jihad is not to kill a non-Muslim by a Muslim. Jihad means to strive. And in whatever you do in life, you strive to be the best you can be. You strive to be a good Muslim. You strive to be a good Christian. You strive to be a good farmer or a good engineer. So jihad is not to kill a non-Muslim. That's a wrong notion people have been airing out for decades. And I wrote a foreword on a book. Written by very high stakeholders across the world, published by the King of Jordan. And I wrote that forward, and I believe that book will be brought back again, because it was about 13, 14 years ago, and it talked about the uses and abuses of jihad. Because at the back of the book, I remember very well, because they said one of the most fearsome word a non-Muslim would hear is the word jihad. And it's true because people have already given it a very negative connotation, but it is not. And so let's live here with that notion that, look, jihad is to strive, it's not to kill a non-Muslim. Because as we know as Muslims, it's in the Holy Quran, you cannot take somebody's life without due process. You cannot kill somebody. Because they said to kill a life, take a life or kill somebody, it's like taking the whole of humanity. That's without being following due process. But these are things that scholars will talk to you about. So let's live here with this notion that jihad is not to kill, because we are living peacefully with one another. I'm a Muslim and I know I'm a Muslim. If you're a Christian, you know you are a Christian. Then when we understand one another, we are better equipped to deal with one another. because I know who you are, you know who I am. There's nothing you can do to me. There's something I can do to you. Understanding is the most important thing. We understand one another and live peacefully in this country. And I want to also correct the notion that when Bishop Kuka talked about Islamism, you use some words maybe in a wrong manner, or somebody might feel Islam is negative. Islamism is not aimed at seizing power at any particular forum. Islam is after good governance in society. And whoever is there, President Goodluck Jonathan was president, we gave him 100% support throughout his presidency. Nobody said anything negative about it. He knows that and he's here. So Islamism is not what you think it is. It's a wrong notion that you are bringing up here that is to seize power. It's not to seize power. We're after good governance. September 2019, I gave a talk on Islam and good governance in Nigeria. President Buhari was just going in for his second term. After I finished my talk, the following day, papers carried it, I was aiming at President Buhari's second term, because I said things that a good Muslim should do as a leader and what he should not do. And these are written. So we have a code. We have a code of conduct. We have ways and means of life, the Holy Quran and the Hadith of our most noble Prophet Muhammad and the consensus of the ulama, that's the clerics. These are three things guiding us. Anybody coming outside this to say things that he really doesn't know about is not speaking, it's not for Islam. Because Islam abhors extremism. Islam abhors extremism. You cannot be an extremist and then claim to be a good Muslim. So let's learn some of these issues, and then when we're talking about insecurity or security in our great country, we have to be careful in how we say things, how we present them. And another particular paper I'm talking about, I gave Bishop Kuka a copy, Islam, what Islam means in good governance. So let's come closer as one big family with different backgrounds and forge ahead to make this country a better country. Because there's nothing anybody can do about a Christian or a Muslim being who he is. Because when we are coming to the world, we didn't beg Almighty Allah to bring us into the world as Muslims or Christians or Jews or whatever it is. He decided in his own right to bring you into the world as a Christian or a Muslim or whatever it is. We must learn to respect one another. We must learn to live with one another. We must learn to help one another, because we must be our brother's keepers. And so many Christian leaders here know that. It's in the holy books also that we must be good to ourselves. And I want to thank the chairman of the occasion for coming to Sokoto once more. And I assure you all, we are here to do our best.